Media Association Montana Sportscaster of the Year and three-time loser, The Jason Walker Show. The best local and statewide sports coverage, featuring the biggest guests from Montana.
Flint Rasmussen joining us here on The Jason Walker Show.
He's freaking exhausting, too. You used to dance a lot more. Yeah, I know, lady. I'm 51 years old now.
The NAI Hall of Famers, Mike Van Diest, joining us here, Jason Walker Show. And is it just a deal where quarterbacks have to be good golfers?
Well, that's all they have time for. They don't work out. They don't lift weights. They don't do anything else. They might as well go get on the golf course, at least have some fun.
And from across the country,
Doug Gottlieb, our guest here on The Jason Walker Show.
End of the day, remember, it's your show. It's got your name on it.
Howie Mandel, our guest here.
Jason Walker, deal or no deal?
The Jason Walker Show, broadcasting from the Major Mortgage Man Cave. Here's Jason Walker.
Hey, happy Wednesday. The Jason Walker Show, presented by Capital Collision Center. Montana state law says it is your vehicle, it is your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center. Big show coming up today, Major Mortgage Man Cave. It's Wednesday. That's what she said with Katie Garcin-Forba on the way. We'll talk Capital girls basketball. Also, we're going to find out what's her favorite movie. Because today is the day the music died, when Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper J.P. Richardson passed away, along with the pilot in Clear Lake, Iowa, in a plane crash. So, what's the better movie? Was it the Buddy Holly story or La Bamba? You can weigh in as well at J Walker Sports on Facebook. You can, or as well as Facebook. So at J Walker Sports on Twitter, Facebook, email Jason at JasonWalkerShow.com. Call, text. Let's have some fun today. Email us, Jason at JasonWalkerShow.com. Like I said, you can go to JasonWalkerShow.com, period, for all of your Jason Walker Show stuff. All right, so we'll talk to Katie Garcin-Forba coming up. It is National Signing Day today as well. Although it doesn't seem like it's as big deal as it has been in years past. And I don't know if that's because of COVID or what, but just doesn't really have the same luster. So we'll talk about that a little bit coming up. Tomorrow, Susie Milano will join us, former sports reporter here in Helena, and also a creative video producer out at Monmouth University and currently at UCLA. She's battling a disease, and I wanted her to share her story, so she'll join us tomorrow. Let's see here. Today is Wednesday. Friday, we will talk to Cascade Conference Commissioner Rob Cashel as well. And I did get some word today. Bill Pilgrim, head coach out at Corbin, they still have not yet started. They're hoping, he said, quote, to get into their gym next week, end quote. We were texting back and forth a little bit earlier today. So we'll talk to Cascade Commissioner Rob Cashel on Friday about that. Couple of great guests lined up for next week already and into March even. I mean, it's fun. Fun stuff. I love this. What I don't love is cancellations, and we have a whole bunch of them rolling in. We knew about Kalispell Big Sky Boys, Glacier Big Sky Boys yesterday. Earlier today, Helena High and Hellgate was canceled for Thursday, and it just came out. Well, I got confirmation from Coach Guy Almquist that Saturday's game is canceled with Hellgate and Capital. So the Hellgate boys having some issues. Now, remember, they played Big Sky last Thursday. Big Sky couldn't play Glacier last night because of COVID. Butte also not playing this week. They were scheduled to play Capital and Helena High. So there will be no games for Helena High or Capital this week, nor Hellgate, nor Butte, nor Big Sky. So what is that? 5 of the 8? You've got Flathead, Sentinel. Is that 6 of 8 then? Am I missing somebody? On the western side for the boys that aren't going to play. Eastern AA is all going to play, it sounds like, boys and girls. The Western AA girls are going to play. It's crazy. We also saw that Hardin has a case of COVID, so they, the boys, have canceled its next 4 games, the Bulldogs have. That includes games with Havre scheduled for this week. And Hardin is shut down until February 16th, according to Coach Andrew Roundface, who talked to 406mtsports.com, Billings Gazette today. So Hardin was supposed to play Livingston at home Friday, at Havre Saturday, host Laurel then on Thursday next week, and then take on Billings Central, huge matchup, next Friday night at the Metra. That's not going to happen. And there are no plans, according to Coach Roundface, to make up these games. Tough. It's tough. All over. And it's not over yet. I mean, yeah, we're seeing numbers decline, which is fantastic. We're seeing, all sorts of, the vaccine is out, but it's still not over, folks. And again, I'm on both sides of the COVID fence, and I have been since last March. But there's no good answer. There's no good solution to any of this. And I'm sorry. I just don't like to see the high school kids lose games. I don't. A, because the kids are doing awesome, but B, because I want something to talk about positive. And COVID canceling some great basketball right now. Thankfully, wrestling hasn't been affected that we've heard of, and swimming either, so that's good. All right, Katie Garcin-Forba coming up. We'll talk Capital Girls. They are still scheduled to play this week. Butte Thursday, Hellgate at home on Saturday. We're also going to talk about what's the best movie. La Bamba, about Richie Valens, or the Buddy Holly story about Buddy Holly. And we'll get her thoughts on that. You can weigh in as well on Facebook. You can tweet us at JWalkerSports. What's the best movie? The one with Gary Busey, the Buddy Holly story, which I believe he sang all of those songs himself, or the La Bamba, the Richie Valens story with Lou Diamond Phillips, in which Los Lobos sang and Lou Diamond Phillips lip synced. So you can vote. It's an unscientific poll. Have fun though. Let's have some fun. It's Wednesday. What the heck? I did tell you what's coming up tomorrow and Friday. I will tell you next week. We're also going to talk to John Brankus from Sport Science. Remember him? We're going to talk to him this week as well. I believe Friday. Possibly Friday. Anyway, so that'll be a good time. It was always fun to watch. Remember those Sport Science things on SportsCenter, ESPN? And like ABC, they were so cool. They were like the science behind certain things, like a charge or a dunk or a baseball catch or football. I mean, it was just awesome. So John Brankus will join us this week as well. Looking forward to that. Did see some other disturbing news today, not just COVID-related stuff, but Drea Wacker from Melstone, who it feels like she's been playing since 7th grade, because I think she has. But she's going to miss the rest of the season. Tore her ACL, according to her coach at Melstone. Suffered the injury Saturday against Webo. So Wacker is going to undergo surgery in the near future. And this is tough. I mean, Wacker is one of the best girls basketball players in the state of Montana. Not just right now. She's currently averaging 25 points per game, the best in the state at all classes. Had 40 a couple of weeks ago, and is sitting just under 1,800 points for her career. Now, she'll be back next year, hopefully. And this is the type of girl that's going to work her tail off to get back. But what sucks is she's going to miss track season as well, where she's really good as well. Third in the 1600 and the 3200 at the 2019 state track meet. Melstone girls 10-1, ranked third in the 406mtsports.com Class C power poll. Their loss came a week and a half ago in overtime, 56-53 to the team ranked just above them, second ranked Seiko, Whitewater, and Hinsdale. I got a Facebook message. Thomas Sowell famously stated, "There's no solutions, only trade-offs." And Bob says it makes perfect sense for COVID. It is. What do you do? You know, it's just, there's no good answer. Our best, though, goes out to Drea Wacker. That's a terrible injury, but she'll bounce back. She's a rock star. There's no question about that. So let's see here. What else did we want to hit on? It is got some cool on this day in history's coming up. A couple of great birthdays as well. And I saw this. Actually got the news last night. Promised I would keep it quiet, but until the team itself broke the news. But Great Falls Voyagers are going to be back with Tommy Thompson as manager coming up this year. Now, Thompson was the manager of the Voyagers a few years ago when Helena still had baseball, and Nestor Corridor was the manager of Helena. Tommy was the manager up in Great Falls, and those two together were fantastic. So I got to cover both teams. But it'll be fun to get Tommy back in the state with Great Falls, and he's he's honest. He's got that southern accent, which is fantastic, and he's just a cool dude. Tommy Thompson, back as the manager of the Great Falls Voyagers. Going to have some news soon about the Billings Mustangs, which will be pretty sweet. So that'll be, I think, next week, possibly, according to my source. But good stuff. Tommy Thompson is, man, he's fantastic. Cannot wait to get him back on the air because he's a good dude. Good dude. It is National Women and Girls in Sports Day today. And appreciate all women in sports. And we'll talk to Katie Garcin-Forba, get her thoughts on that coming up in the next segment as well. But there's a long way to go. Not just the ability and the opportunities for women and girls in sports, but at all levels. And we'll do everything we can. I mean, I can't do anything really. I'm a one guy, but I promote women in sports and girls in sports all the time because I absolutely think it's great. And my daughter got to play sports growing up. The little one is going to play sports if she wants growing up. She's probably going to be on the shorter side, so we're thinking gymnastics. Golf. I really want her to become a golfer. I'm gonna work on it. I want her to become a great golfer to where she can get a college scholarship. There's so much money in women's scholarships left on the table for women's golf in college, but to turn pro, and I have it all planned out. I've got it all planned out. So I figure she'll be the pro golfer, and then I'll be her caddy. And then the wife, who's really good with finances, can just be her manager. Right? I think it's really good idea. Like, really good. Sue just said cheer. In high school, she could cheer in high school. And play golf in the fall and spring. How's that? She can cheer for basketball. She can play golf. And the way it's scheduled, Sue, she could actually play golf for the AA in the spring or in the fall, because they play usually Monday, Tuesdays in normal seasons. But then she could cheer for football on the weekends. Right? I think that's a good idea. However, Sue, I do not believe where we live, she's not going to be able to cheer for Capital because we're on the other side of town. And I know you're going to say move. Sue, the cheer coach over at Capital. Great lady. Love Sue. Good stuff. I don't think she'll be able to cheer for Capital, though. Although the wife keeps wanting to get over to the west side. So we'll see. We'll see. Who knows? I knew it. Sue said move, and then Bruce immediately said time to move. That doesn't mean that she has to go to Helena. Hi, she could go to East Helena, and then there's no rivalry, right? I may lose this job and have to move out of state. Who knows? I kid. I love this. I love this job. And I'm my own boss. I'm not going to fire me, no matter what I post on social media. Oh, your wife is a smart woman. Yes, she is. Hello, Bruce. She married me. Come on. Not just for good looks right here. She married brains as well. Just kidding. I way outkicked my coverage. Like most men, I definitely outkicked my coverage. So, love the interaction with our listeners. Fantastic. Hey, speaking of, what's the better movie? La Bamba or the Buddy Holly story? Today is the day the music died. Get your votes in. You can Facebook. You can tweet at JWalkerSports. You can email Jason at JasonWalkerShow.com and much more. Okay, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back, and Katie Garcin-Forba will tell us her favorite movie of those two. Also, her love for music. Where did it come from? And we'll probably talk a little basketball, too. Jason Walker Show is presented by Capital Collision Center, and Montana State law says it is your vehicle. It is your choice where you have it repaired. Now, Capital Collision Center has spent a lot of money to become manufacturer certified. In fact, they were one of the first shops in the country. Well, what's that mean? It means that it requires special training and a lot of special equipment to be manufacturer certified. But what it does is it means that Capital Collision Center is going to properly repair your vehicle to manufacturer repair requirements. They actually have a playbook. Just like in sports, you get a playbook where it comes from Ford, Honda, GM. It comes from the manufacturers of your vehicle, and it tells them step by step how to fix your vehicle that's been damaged in an accident. And when you get it back, it's going to look like it just came off the lot. Brand new. Capital Collision Center on Euclid in Helena. Coming right back with Katie Garcin-Forba, Capital girls basketball coach, next. Jason Walker Show.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana State law says it's your vehicle and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $299. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
Welcome back to the Jason Walker Show.
Welcome back, Jason Walker Show in the Major Mortgage Man Cave. We are presented by Capital Collision Center, still to come on this day in history. The walk-off. Signing day we'll chat about a little bit. Also taking your votes on which was the better movie, La Bamba about Richie Valens or the Buddy Holly story. Most of you know, today on this date, 1959, the day the music died. How come we never got a movie about the Big Bopper, by the way, J.P. Richardson? Just asking. This segment of the Jason Walker Show is brought to you by Rucker's Furniture. Make the quality choice for your home at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena. All right, so tomorrow, Susie Milano. Friday, Cascade Conference Commissioner Rob Cashel. And couple of great, fantastic guests next week already lined up. I mean, we have them lined up already, like through March, but there's a couple of new ones that are awesome that I can't wait. I mean, all of our guests are awesome. By the way, did you notice the shirt? It is the San Juan Ski Joring. I just got it in the mail the other day. Had a great time down there last month, and can't wait to get back next year. But, all right, let's talk some basketball. And we're going to find out what Katie Garcin-Forba thinks is the better movie, La Bamba or the Buddy Holly story. So we'll talk about that and more as Coach Katie Garcin-Forba joins us now on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline on the Jason Walker Show. All right, Coach, first off, congratulations on the weekend, which we will talk about here in a second. But it is National Women and Girls in Sports Day, and it's a very important day for ladies. And there's a lot of dudes that are appreciative of this, too, including myself. But what's this day mean for you?
I think it's another important day that has to be celebrated a little bit. And I think it's important for us to talk about it with our kids and just, remind them of how far we've come for women in athletics and women in sports. I told them a couple weeks ago, we're still trying to, there's been a lot of women ahead of us that have paved the way, but there's still a lot of work, a long ways to go. And, just on the west side in the Western AA, there are three female head coaches, 3 out of the 8, and that's it. And there's 4 out of the 16 total, which is kind of crazy. Or 5, I guess. Sorry, misspoke because I forgot about Belgrade. But there's still a majority that are not women, and so it's important for them to just know that we're still trying to, make our way in it. And but the opportunity for them to be athletes and to get to play sports, it wasn't that long ago where that wasn't an opportunity. So I think it's just another moment for us to discuss the importance of how far we've come with our girls and to not take it for granted and to keep persevering for more and more of that opportunity.
That's very well said. Katie Garcin-Forba, head coach of the Capital Girls, joining us. And you guys went 2-0 last week. And we know about Paige and Danny Barch. We've talked about them for years now, it seems, because they've been on varsity for years. But Mara McGinley had herself quite a weekend as well. She led the team in scoring Thursday. I think she was second on Saturday. And that's something that is, I'm sure, much appreciated. Because, again, we know what Paige and Danny are going to do, but to get Mara leading the way is that's a 3-headed monster now.
It is, and we had to do a better job looking at how we could get her more shot opportunities in our offense, and that was something that, when we had our longer break when our crosstown game got postponed, we had to look back at our previous, our first 4 games and see, okay, where can we get more scoring opportunities? Where can we get more and more involved? because it's, her getting shots opens up everything in the paint. And so it makes a big difference for us. So I think she did a great job of shooting the ball, taking the shots we want her to take. I think her teammates did a great job of finding her for those shots. We had Jamie Sheridan had 8 assists in one of those games, and, was just finding our scorers, and it made us really hard to guard in those situations. So, it was great. She found her shot, and she was shooting with confidence, and her teammates, were finding her, and we just built off of that momentum a little bit.
Is your offense based off inside out because of the Barches, or do you go outside in, or a little of both?
A little bit of both. We have a couple of different looks that we can go to, and we actually added a little bit more of an on-ball action with Paige, which I think is hard to guard because she's pretty mobile, to be able to get shooters coming out of screens a little bit more and looking for that off-ball pass. We actually stole a little bit of what Guy has been doing with his team because it just opens up the floor so much. So it's kind of a combination of both. We have a lot of sets that we can run, but a lot of times we like, especially this weekend, we just let them kind of run our fluid offense and see what teams gave us. And we're getting more patient. One of the things we have to remind them, what may be a good shot is not the best shot we can get. So let's get a great shot together and get second side of the floor type action. And when we do that, I think we're really efficient in our offense.
That was one of the cheesiest coaching lines you've ever used with me in all these years.
Which
gosh.
one?
The good shot, be great shot, be patient, whatever you just said.
Oh, the girls hear that from me all the time. And I came in at halftime of our Glacier game, and I said we had 16 possessions with no reversals. Give up a good shot to get a great shot. And they're just staring at me, and I'm like, at some point it's going to resonate.
Oh, my goodness. With the girls inside, Paige and Danny and the such, but have you had to tell them, like, hey, when you're double teamed, someone's going to be open? And obviously last week it was Mara, but there's a lot of chances for you guys to do things in different ways.
Yeah, we actually spent a lot of time after our first Hellgate game. They wanted to double team Paige, and we hadn't worked on her playing out of the double team. So we've spent a lot of time with her of making that read if they do double team down, when to look to score it against the double team. And then we worked with our guards on, if your girl doubles, you should be cutting to the basket, and let's go get a layup off of it or space to a shot. And so they're starting to feel those reads a little bit more, which is a great thing, and that's where I think we're starting to build in our continuity a little bit. But, and Paige, I think, is a lot less stressed out of like, okay, ball came into me, now I've got to do something with it. What do I do next? Okay, settle for a second. I remind her, I'm like, Paige, you're 6'4". You can hold it up over your head, and the guards might not be able to even touch the ball. Just relax and make the next play. And I think she's done a really nice job of that, and she did a really nice job of that versus Glacier and Flathead, who looked to double team her a little bit.
There's some great video out there from about 3 or 4 years ago of Hannah Dean with the Carroll College women. She learned how to, because she drew that double team so much. Her and Cassie Hashley when Cassie played too. But that's really good video to watch if you are into that sort of thing.
Oh, totally. And there's things that we looked at that I respect Rochelle a ton and how they've handled those situations, because and it's kind of surprising that teams haven't done it sooner to us. But I told them, I said, it's great. Game 2 of the season, we learned a lot about what teams might throw at us this year. They can't necessarily do a box and one because we have other players. They can't do a triangle and two necessarily because we have other players. So what are they going to look to do? And they threw the double team, and so we've spent a lot of time working on how to play out of that. And it's funny because the girls now, if a double team doesn't come, they're like, oh, offense is easy. They just got to relax and play. So.
Well, sometimes it's hard to, if that double team doesn't come, you forget what to do one-on-one.
Right. And that's been one of the things where we had to really reiterate with Paige, you're open, you're still option one. And the guards have to communicate when that double team comes, so that they know whether it's coming or not.
Right.
And I think that they've picked that up really quickly. It's been cool to see.
Are you a fan of the high-low as well?
I am. When you have the right personnel, one of the things that, like, our lower levels, we obviously don't have the size that we're going to have next year and looking forward, and so we've gone away from that a little bit, just to more of a kind of a forward, like a guard forward at the 4. but really Danny is pretty efficient in the high post, and so we'd like to get her touches in there and look high-low out of that. But we got zoned so much last year that wasn't. I mean, it's more a part of our man offense, but if we're zoned, Danny likes to be in the high post. She does a great job in there, and she makes that read. If they suck down on Paige, we kick to a shooter. If not, she's shooting it, and if not, then Paige is getting a touch. So we like to keep Paige in the paint. She likes to be in the paint. She gets a little bit worried when she has to leave. We call it her home. She gets outside of her home. She gets a little panicky on me. I'm like, kid, you are one of the best athletes. Just go play.
That is awesome because you just don't expect. I mean, she's so good at everything, but
yeah,
she is like that, like a Hakeem who don't feel comfortable 5 feet away from the basket out.
Well, it was hilarious. Yesterday we're in practice, and she's in the high post in the zone, and she squares up and hits an outside shot. I mean, a free throw line extended type shot, and she was shocked, and I'm like, hey, you have shot that in games. You know that, right? And her team was like, yeah. I'm like, what? But it's what makes her who she is, and that's why we love her.
There you go. Katie Garcin-Forba joining us. All right, you got Butte, Hellgate, and then Crosstown. You got 3 games in 6 days or 5 days. It's a busy week.
Yep.
But let's start with Butte. What do you expect there on Thursday night?
Butte will play very aggressive. They'll be scrappy. They've got pretty good size.
Stop. Don't use the word scrappy with Butte. Every coach in the world says Butte is scrappy. Boy, girl, baseball, football, it doesn't matter.
Aggressive.
They'll be aggressive. Okay, there you go. Now you can go.
They will be very aggressive. They like to get out in passing lanes, and they like to push tempo and transition. So we've got to limit that. We have to be hard to guard in the half court and make them stop, our different options. And then I think we can run on them a little bit with our size especially when they got their big in there with Olsen. I think Paige can get up the floor on her. So we've got to look for those opportunities and just see what he throws out there. He'll have a little wrinkle that he throws in there, and so we'll just have to adjust off of that. But I expect 2-3 zone. They'll look to trap out of it a little bit. It's a game a lot about us and us bringing the energy and starting the way that we want to and kind of dictating tempo that way.
There was a few years ago where Butte was really, really bad, but they're getting more confident, and they're a scary team.
Yeah.
I'm not saying scrappy.
They are.
They're scary.
Yeah. No, they are because they have good athletes. They always have good athletes, and they can make plays happen. And they've been impacted with the COVID stuff for sure. So what has happened their last couple of games are not indicative of the type of team that they are. So we definitely can't overlook them and have to go in there and be prepared and know personnel and what they like to do.
Where do you guys eat after that game in the mining city, or do you just come home?
We come home. We have not been able to stop. We've really tried to limit our stopping just to kind of limit our potential COVID contact stuff.
Well, you could get barbecue on to go or something, right?
Yeah, by the time we get done with games and, it's a lot of work. I'm just trying to get through, one day at a time at this point.
Okay, and then you got Hellgate at home on Saturday.
Yep.
This is an important game for you guys.
Yeah, this is a big one. This is one that, can determine who goes in as the 1 seed into playoffs and stuff. And depending on how they decide to do, if they stick with the playoff format for the tournament, or if we have an actual venue tournament, this will dictate a lot of that. So it is a big game, and I think it's a big one for us just to make up for how we played really at Hellgate. I didn't think we played well, and we've made some adjustments with the girls, and I think that they're clicking again and things are going the right direction. But it's a big game, and they always bring their best game against us. It's always a great competitive environment. They'll be ready to go. They'll be well coached. So it's there's a lot of things that we've got to be able to make adjustments to, and just be ready to go from the very start. I didn't think we were ready to go right out the gate. And we were on our heels for most of that second half, so we've got to limit those lapses and just go out and just go play. Go make plays and go play hard.
And then Monday, Crosstown, a game that you've been preparing for a month, it seems like. It's a Monday night. You guys don't normally play on Monday nights. It's a weird situation, but it's still a game of basketball, and it's still important because A, it's Crosstown, but B, like you said, playoffs, seeding, and everything after that.
Yep. Yep, absolutely. And there's a lot of emotions that go with crosstown. You know, you just never know what to expect. We're very familiar with the players, but it is a little different system, and so the girls will have to adjust to that. And we'll sneak in a little bit, a short walkthrough on Monday after school, so that we can walk through personnel and their sets and what they look to do, just so that we're familiar with that. But we never want to overlook a team, and so it is our focus, today. Hellgate's our focus on Friday, and then we have to find a little bit of time to make Helena High our focus. Fortunately, they know the players, and so that helps. But it's just kind of getting our mindset changed to get ready to go and play in crosstown.
Katie Garcin-Forba, our guest here, Jason Walker Show, found out that she is a rodeo star, which we're going to talk about another time. But today is Carrot Cake Day. Are you a carrot cake? Well, of course you're a carrot cake fan. You're a chocolate cake fan, too.
I am, and my mother-in-law makes a really, really to-die-for carrot cake. And I'm not just saying that because I married her son. Like, it is one of the best carrot cakes. It's homemade frosting, everything. So, yes, I am a fan.
Hey, I want you to know, I talked to the Flathead radio announcer last week. I tried to get him to bring you a chocolate cake to the game.
And he didn't do it.
He didn't, no. He was worried because he didn't want to have Sam Tudor be upset. And I said, who cares about Sam? I don't.
Right. I'll have to send him a message and tell him my disappointment. Like, I thought.
Yeah. The knock on sports. He forgot. He just didn't do it. Man.
I went on his show.
Wow. See?
I did. About a month ago, I went on his show.
Well, just say no next time and tell him why.
Yeah. I didn't get chocolate cake.
And he'll know exactly what we're talking about.
He will. Yep.
So you were not born in 1959. You're a youngster.
No.
Okay. Today is the day the music died. Buddy Holly, Richie Valens.
I did know that.
The Big Bopper.
I did know that. Yep.
Did you like that music, or do you like that music?
I do, yeah. I think I give a lot of credit to my mother. She introduced us and had us listening to the classics my entire childhood. And, it's Buddy Holly was something that was very much a constant in our household.
Nice.
So, there's a wide variety of music that I grew up listening to, and it was because of my mom, and it was a big deal to her for us to be very well cultured, musically. And my husband is, I married somebody who's very, very musically inclined, and he listens to every variety of music. And so we both knew that today was the day. And I may be young, but I think my family did a good job of making sure that, I was cultured in some of those things.
Okay, better movie, the Buddy Holly story with Gary Busey or La Bamba?
I got to go La Bamba. Like, I know they're both good, but yeah, I like La Bamba.
Well, I mean, Los Lobos did really well doing Richie Valens' music. They did a nice job.
Yeah.
Gary Busey actually sang the Buddy Holly music, though.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I mean, he's a terrible actor.
Go back and watch it. Yeah. But that changes things. Well, I may have to go back. I'll have to go back and I'll watch both of them and just let you know. I'll have you an update on my decision on that. It may change.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I like them both. Like you said, La Bamba, I think more people relate to because it's newer, but not by much.
Right.
But people forget about the Buddy Holly story.
Yes, I think that's the other thing is it's not as well known, compared to comparing the two movies, I guess.
Yeah, and thankfully, Waylon Jennings lost a coin toss, or we wouldn't have had Outlaw Country and Waylon Jennings.
I know, and you think about and this is going to get a little bit philosophical on you, so you might gag a little bit, but you think about those moments in time and how that would dictate history and the impact to music, and it's kind of crazy to think about the sequence of events that lead up to something and the coin toss that keeps them off the plane. And I mean, it's just kind of crazy of how certain moments happen and how different certain things could look because of that.
Yep. Well, we wouldn't have Don McLean, American Pie.
Yeah. No.
I mean, which is an 8-minute classic.
Right. It is. I actually may have to play. I may have to do a history session with my team on that whole scenario, and then play that song and make them listen to it for 8 minutes, and they'd be like, "Oh my God, she's really lost it. This is what tipped her over the edge." Yep.
Well, if Anthony would have brought you chocolate cake, we wouldn't be in this situation. And
exactly.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure
all ties back to him.
He knows that you're upset.
Yeah, I think that's only fair at this point.
Coach, appreciate it. Good luck. Stay safe and stay healthy with the 3 games in 5 days, and we will talk to you next week.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for having me.
That is Katie Garcin-Forba, the Capital Girls coach, joining us on the Mike Miller State Farm Hotline. So there you go. Bring her chocolate cake next time. That's just all you have to do. So if you're a parent, that would be awesome. Maybe I should get a hold of. I got a few ideas on who I can get a hold of to take a chocolate cake down to Coach Garcin-Forba. I'll have to do that. Since Anthony couldn't do it, our buddy Anthony up in the Flathead. So American Pie, written by Don McLean. Now, there's a story out there. By the way, the original script for that song went for $1.2 million recently at an auction. But there's a story that it revolves around Don McLean's dad passing away, but he's always insisted that American Pie was inspired by the guys that died the day the music died, February 3rd, 1959. Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper, J.P. Richardson. 800 plus words in that song. But great song. And you have to play the unedited version. The edited version of songs is terrible. You got to play the full versions of songs. Like, I knew somebody that wanted to take out the Vincent Price part of Thriller. Seriously. Why? Who does that? That's the best part of the song. Vincent Price and Thriller. Oh, goodness. Anyway. Appreciate Katie Garcin-Forba joining us. So, mentioned that it is National Women and Girls in Sports Day, and I mean the list of women and girls in sports who inspires me is way too long. I'd forget somebody's name and upset them. So appreciate all of them, all of the women and girls in sports. And I've gotten to work with some fantastic ladies. Rochelle Sayers, I'm going to start naming, see. Trisha Binford. There was some other, Tracy Sheehan at MSU. Shannon Schwayen. Katie Garcin-Forba, of course. I mean, there's just some fantastic women coaches that I've gotten to work with. And that doesn't include all the players that I've gotten to know over the years. And sports reporters. Speaking of, we will talk with one tomorrow. Former sports reporter. She's now working down at UCLA. Susie Milano will join us. She spent some time in Helena, also Monmouth before getting to UCLA. And she's got a disease. And she's going to explain the diagnosis, the pain, the everything that comes with it tomorrow here on the Jason Walker Show. It's an inspiring story. So she will join us tomorrow. By the way, that's what she said, Katie Garcin-Forba, brought to you by Dinner's Done Right. Stop by DADR, also known as DDR, also known as Dinner's Done Right, and get yourself tonight's dinner, or even get a couple of frozen meals for this weekend. It's supposed to start getting chilly. They don't have chili, but it's supposed to start getting chilly. And you can just, instead of going out, instead of cooking, all you got to do is throw something in the, throw it in the oven. It's great. Dinner's Done Right on Cedar Street, next to Helena Hare. So, love Vicky and the crew over at Dinner's Done Right. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, what's the better movie? Buddy Holly's story, La Bamba. Also on this day in history coming up. There is some news out of was it Malta last night? Montana Sports, Tom Wiley has a story out on Twitter, and we're going to talk about it when we come back as well. We'll show you some video too, because there was controversy on the court last night. We'll talk about it next. Jason Walker Show, coming right back. Have you thought about buying a home and just don't know where to begin? Well, when it comes to one of the most important purchases one can make, we understand it can be frustrating and confusing, but it doesn't have to be. Let the Major Mortgage team help you with all your mortgage needs. Major Mortgage means major service, and we would love the opportunity to help you today. Give J.R. McFadden, NMLS number 1246357, a call today at 406-465-1918, or you can visit him at 2001 11th Avenue, Building A, Suite 3 in Helena. Major Mortgage is a division of AMCAP Mortgage, NMLS number 129122, equal housing lender.
Store-wide savings are what you'll find when you shop for new home furnishings at Rucker's Furniture. This means tremendous values on Helena's largest in-stock selection of home furnishings. When you shop Rucker's, you'll find store-wide savings on the furniture you want for every room in your home. And you'll also find our selection of Serta iComfort, the most comfortable beds in Helena. 12-month financing is available with approved credit on most purchases over $289. Ask for details. You'll find store-wide savings at Rucker's Furniture, 1010 Dearborn, Helena.
New vehicles keep coming, and Capital Collision Center keeps earning certifications to repair them. They're Helena's newest GM-certified facility. No matter the make or year, they repair your car to manufacturer's standards and requirements, maintaining its safety and value. Montana state law says it's your vehicle and it's your choice where you have it repaired. Choose Capital Collision Center, certified in GM, Subaru, and Nissan, and Helena's only shop certified in Honda, Acura, and Ford. When you value safety, go to Capital Collision Center on Euclid.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Mike Miller in Helena today. Welcome back, Jason Walker Show. It is signing day today. College and university teams all across the country looking to get great performers for the next 4, 5, 6 years. And speaking of great performance, Auto Concepts will give you just that. Lift kits, a whole bunch of fantastic, the tonneau covers, bed rugs, lift kits, window tinting. Not only that, get your vehicle cleaned. Auto Concepts full detail. It's great. Stop by Auto Concepts in Helena today. That was a pretty good segue. I'm not going to lie. I like that one. That was I'm proud of myself for that one. On this day in sports history is coming up, the walk-off, and much more. So team signing players all across the state. Cats, Grizz. It's interesting to me, along with the Frontier schools, but it's interesting to me that we'll see how many of the Cats signees stayed coming to Bozeman with Jeff Choate leaving and Kane Ione leaving, and the fact that Montana State still doesn't have a head coach, although it is looking as if the Cats are maybe going to have someone soon. Is it Tim Drevno? Used to be he was a Bobcat coach back under Cliff Heisel in the 90s, but he seems to be emerging right now as the top candidate. So, at least from source I've talked to. But there's still a long way to go. Of course, it could be announced tonight or tomorrow for all we know. Oh, man. All right, so last night in They believe it was at Malta. There was some controversy as Rocky Boy walked off the court with 4.5 minutes to go. It was in Malta. They were trailing the Mustangs anyway, the Stars were, 62-47. But according to Tom Wiley at MontanaSports.com, there were a bunch of technicals called and some controversial calls. We're going to play some of the video that Tom shared on Facebook or on their website today and also on Twitter. And you be the judge. So this was a technical. Couple of technicals for flopping apparently as well. And some questionable calls, it seems. So Rocky Boy's bench gets teed up. Some players were kicked out last night. And so there's Mark Beckman told Tom Wiley at MTN Sports that they're investigating it. MHSA is looking into it. So there's some video of it. If you want, you can go to MontanaSports.com. I've also shared it on our Twitter page, but there's a push-off foul called here that I don't know if happened, and that came from an official who looked to be way out of position. And then there's a couple of technicals here towards the, with 4:32 to go. So that was called a flop. Contact was made. Multiplayer runs into or gets on with hooked up with a Rocky Boy player, and they said the Rocky Boy player flopped. And Ben Krebs, the junior, had been called for a tee earlier in the game, so he got kicked out. He got called for a technical in the first quarter for slapping the backboard on a block attempt. And so the coach got kicked out as well. And that was at that point with 4.5 minutes to go. The coaching staff just pulled the Stars off the court. So Malta got the win. Yeah. High school basketball, folks. High school basketball. And look, I know it's crazy in the state of Montana. I get it. High school basketball is nuts. But man, and that's a lot on the refs for losing control early. And again, I didn't watch the whole game, but tough. So we'll keep an eye on that. See what comes of it. My guess is you're going to see a player or two and maybe a coach sitting out a game, probably, because refs never get in trouble. So Tom Wiley is reporting that 2 technicals for flopping, 1 for slapping a backboard, 1 for a bench violation, and 1 on Malta for arguing correctly that the wrong player was charged with a foul. And again, we shared it at Jay Walker Sports on the Twitter, so if you want to check it out, you can. Crazy. Anyway, all right, today is the day the music died, and we'll talk about more about that in a second. Getting a text message here from a coach out west that their team is playing, but another team in Oregon is not, and they're in the same conference. I'm not sure how that is possible, and they're in the same state. Man. Crazy. All right. Today is February the 3rd, 2021. On this date is National Carrot Cake Day. It is Missing Persons Day. It is also Women Physicians Day and National The Day the Music Died Day. And we talked about Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, J.P. Richardson, the Big Bopper, and the pilot dying near Clear Lake, Iowa. And sad stuff. So I loved Buddy Holly growing up. Well, I wasn't born then, They died 16 years before I was born. But listening to Buddy Holly, I'm a lot like Katie Garcin-Forba. Parents played a different variety of music. So I liked Richie Valens' music. I liked the Big Bopper. In fact, I have a cassette tape somewhere. Remember cassette tapes? When we lived in Salt Lake, I called up, was it 1240 KRSP, oldies station at the time, and requested the Big Bopper. And the DJ said, I'll play it for you. I was like 13. DJ said, I'll play it for you, but only if you can start the song. So I was like, well, yeah, there's a telephone ring, and then hello, babe. It was better back then. Also, we talked about women and girls in sports day. Some colleges in Montana, they don't value ladies as much as they do men, which is sad. Even though they take federal money, they have to abide by Title IX, but they don't. So they'll be in trouble. All right, on this date in 1876, Albert Spalding invested $800 to start a sporting goods company, manufacturing the first official baseball, tennis ball, basketball, golf ball, and football. Spalding. 1924, Canada beats the U.S. 6-1 to retain the Olympic ice hockey gold medal. Also in 1924, Switzerland claiming the inaugural Olympic bobsled gold medal. 1972, at the 11th Winter Games, they opened in Japan. 1990, jockey Bill Shoemaker, at the age of 58, retired after 40,350 horse races. That's a lot. 1993, Cincinnati Reds owner Marge Schott suspended for a year due to racist comments. Speaking of Morgan Wallen, who just can't not stay out of his own way, country singer, is in trouble, being dropped by all sorts of radio stations and radio companies. He was caught on videotape Sunday night dropping the N-word. So he got in trouble. This dude, like I said, he can't stay out of his own way. And his career might be over. 2002, Super Bowl 36, Louisiana Superdome. New England beats St. Louis 20-17. 2008, Super Bowl something else. I can't do Roman numerals. What is that, 52? 40? I don't know. No. I don't know. Anyway, it was in Arizona. And the Giants beat the Patriots 17-14, ruining New England's perfect season, thankfully. 2013, at a different Super Bowl in New Orleans, Ravens beat San Francisco 34-31. Joe Flacco, the MVP, the best thing to come out of the University of Delaware. 2019, let's see. So Mercedes-Benz Stadium in New Orleans? That can't be right. Had to have been the Superdome. No, yeah. But Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta 2 years ago, New England beat LA Rams 13-3. So New England, in 18-year difference, beat the Rams twice in two different cities, and the Rams played in two different cities. How about that? It's called research. 1904, Pretty Boy Floyd was born. Charles Pretty Boy Floyd, gangster. He died in 1934. 1914, George Nissen was born. He created the trampoline. He bounced out of the earth in 2010. 1940, Fran Tarkenton was born. Great quarterback, never won. Never won. 1950, happy birthday, Morgan Fairchild, also known as Patsy McClenny. That's her real name, Morgan Fairchild. Born in Dallas. Lots of great things come out of Dallas. Morgan Fairchild. 1815, world's first commercial cheese factory established in Switzerland. 1887, to avoid a disputed national elections, the U.S. Congress creates the Electoral Count Act. That was in 1887, the Electoral Count Act. It's used all the time in elections, every 4 years or every 2 years, except when blatant and rampant cheating occurs. Woodrow, also known as Woodrow Wilson, 28th U.S. president, died on this date in 1924 at his home in D.C.
We're almost at the end of the show. What did we learn? And what did he miss? Time for the walk-off.
Thank you for all the great comments, Sue. Appreciate it as well. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Go to jasonwalkershow.com if you missed anything, including our great interview with Katie Garcin-Forba. By the way, La Bamba won the most votes for best movie between La Bamba and the Buddy Holly story. But I got to go. I probably would go with... Yeah, La Bamba's the better movie. But musically, I'll take Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly, much better than Richie Valens. Both fantastic. Today's the day the music died. We'll do it again tomorrow. Susie Milano will join us and share her story of dealing with lupus. That and a whole bunch more coming up tomorrow at 4. We'll see you then, right here, Jason Walker Show, presented by Capital Collision Center. Join us in the Major Mortgage Man Cave.
The Jason Walker Show is produced by the Jason Walker Media Company. Any reuse, rebroadcast, or retransmission without the express written consent of the Jason Walker Show is strictly prohibited. Just listen, watch, and enjoy.